O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Fucking tired, Ryan. just exhausted, man. Like we're here, we're recapping this game against the Bears. And I think I tweeted it. I think the tweet I sent out during the game is perfect description, man. Like watching a Saints game is literally like being one of Jigsaw's puzzles and fucking Saw. Like
oh man, you got like but Jigsaw would tell you got to enjoy life, man. You got to appreciate the little things, man. Saints 5-2. Saints 5-2 out here. After going 13-3 back to back in 2 years. And what, 11-5 before that?
You're right, man.
Gotta take it, bro.
5-2 without like they didn't have no wide receivers, Ryan.
Oh, man, it was comedy.
So let's start. I don't even know where you want to start. Let's start with the positive. I feel like, you know, we spend so much time shitting on them as a football team, but when you think about it in totality, dating back to last season, missing Drew, and they've missed Mike Thomas for every game this season except for one. You missed the guy that they brought in, Emmanuel Sanders, who was supposed to be the number 2. He's missed the last 2 games. The rookie sensation wide receiver that broke out last game, the undrafted Callaway, he gets hurt. So, and then they go to Chicago, cold, windy, playing conditions aren't the best, and somehow, some way, they're able to win in overtime, and they're 5-2 before a showdown next Sunday against the Bucs, who they already beat week 1.
Yeah. Like if you listen to this podcast without knowing the record, you would think we're talking about like a losing team. Nah, man, they're 5-2, and with a chance to get better. With a chance, I'm not saying they're gonna get better, but they have a chance to get much better, talent-wise on the field. You know, just due to health and injury, and just hopefully through osmosis or whatever. As time goes on.
I do think, and I know it was the Bears. I get that. I 100% get that. But there were glimpses of the defense playing better. I know it was the Bears. I know it was Nick Foles. Yeah. But there was glimpses. So let's start with this. Let me start and clear my chest off first. I don't know. And this is someone who's not even super attached to the outcome of the games anymore. I don't know how, as an official, you make that fucking call. And on the Demario Davis.
I just now saw it, like, because I was listening to it on WWL on my way back home, and Deuce and Zach were like they would be fuddled. They were like, huh? Like, how? And like Deuce made the point, like, okay, if he had broke the tackle, would he all have said no forward progress then? No, of course not. You know what I'm saying? They would say that was just yards after the catch, right? You know what I'm saying? So it was, oh my God, I was like, damn. Every week, but that's every week, man. It's like every week.
Every week.
That 1 or 2 calls where it's like, damn, y'all really got it out for us, huh? Damn.
Like it is obvious at this point. Like they don't hide it. It's just obvious. Like that play, that the game should have been over. The extra shit that happened in overtime, all that shit, like the field goal that tied the game, it was irrelevant because the game should have been over. It didn't make any sense. So that was the first thing. Second thing is, we talked about the fight, right?
Oh, I did get to see that thing from there. That shit, bruh. How I see the dudes. He was just eating that shit, man. He was like, "What?" Like, but what's funny about it is, what is his name? Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, he like breaks off his route, on like a running play, and it's like he had on. He was like, "Yeah, I'm about to get this one."
Hit him with the Debo punch, like the Jamie Foxx, like
that Jamie Foxx. What? I'm in the car.
You're on the ground.
Well, what the fuck just happened?
And the funny thing is, like, I was like, what even fucking caused this? And then you see a couple of things. First, you have Chauncey. Like, I don't know if he pick like Anthony Miller's nose. I don't know. And
it looked like he went through the face guard and just like poked him or something. I don't know.
And then you have him taking Wims's mouth. It complete, like, the whole Mike Thomas swinging on him, like it. Everyone,
Mike Thomas just sitting at home watching, like, see, I told y'all.
Yo, I'm shocked. I'm shocked he didn't tweet like a Kermit sipping the tea like meme.
I told y'all.
But let's talk about the defense. The defense played well in spurts. They at times there was good coverage leading to coverage sacks. At other times it was good push, good from the defensive line. Cam made some big plays. He was pretty pedestrian, pretty quiet, large throughout the game, but
it was like a microcosm of their entire season, pretty much.
Oh man, that's perfect. Perfect.
One game.
Perfect description.
You had the two big plays they allowed early in the game. Which, like, I was so done after that.
We knew it, bro. Like, we knew it.
We talked about it.
As soon as I saw Mooney against the Rams, I was like, oh, he's cooking us. There's at least one. There's one. It happened. It happened.
We talked about it. I said, Nick Foles is going to look at that Saints tape and say, him and Matt Nagy, they're going to look like, okay, we're going to have some opportunities.
And they did.
And I mean, Jack Rabbit, he just get beat off the line, try to press, and then boom,
gone.
Beat, gone. And then Marshawn Lattimore, whatever the hell he was doing.
Against Allen Robinson.
Allen Robinson, which was like what is the only catch?
No, he had like two. He had 2 or 3. But what's funny is that if you look at the game, right? So when the Chicago scores that touchdown, so Saints offensively, they came out running like the offensive flow in the game that Sean Payton was calling that first series was fantastic, right? Yeah. Bears come out and they score a touchdown, and then as soon as the Saints get the ball back, like, what was working? Nah, man, we ain't doing that no more. Boom, boom, boom.
Running into a brick wall. Outside of AK catching passes, out the flats or over the middle. It just wasn't working.
It wasn't. And one of my notes I wrote down in the game is that the Bears' interior defensive line bullied the Saints' interior line almost all game. Like, it was against,
they won that matchup, like,
consistently. Like, and it wasn't the Khalil Mack pressures from the outside. It wasn't the Robert Quinns. It was the Akeem Hicks and all that just coming up the middle. Like, man, Ruiz, we had some snaps where he was.
Hicks was putting some. He was showing Ruiz like, yeah, this is some grown man shit right here.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes.
It was like that was like welcome to the NFL type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was putting it on him. But it's insane that the Saints were still able to manufacture offense. Now, there were parts in the game where the game was super frustrating. You know, they forced Chicago to punt. Deontay Harris has a great punt return, puts it at the 16, and they can't do nothing with it, Ryan. Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I get that the Bears defense is good. I get all that.
It's good, man. Like, it's good. You have a mix of a good Bears defense, an injured New Orleans offense, and even if New Orleans offense was healthy, it's still sort of condensed and like a workman-like offense, not a big play offense. So you just had all those variables coming into play. I mean, honestly, I didn't expect an explosion of points in this game because it was just too much. I mean, the offense is hard. It's hard work enough to move the ball downfield, but then you just take away, your top two wide receivers and the rookie that's coming along. It's like, I mean, we were debating if Traquan could legitimately be a number 3 receiver coming into the season, and now he's your number 1 this game. Like, that's your number 1 Dwight Howard. Like, come on, no. At some point, it's just too much.
It is, but yet we say that, but yet they were able to overcome it. Like, and some of that is a lot of that was Alvin's greatness. Like, let's not talk about, like, we are seeing if a offensive player of the year, like, it shouldn't be a debate. Like, if Russell Wilson's the MVP, which more than likely he probably is, like, the offensive player of the year has to be Alvin Kamara. Like, his play of just doing special things it's every game
consistently. That's the key. Like, there are other players doing like great things, but this is week after week, and and he's like, it's on his shoulders. This is not the Drew Brees led offense anymore. It's the Alvin Kamara led offense. So I have no question.
Were you annoyed with some of the play calling by Sean in this game?
I mean, there was some calls, especially like late in the game. I wasn't able to see him, but listening to him, I was like, oh, and then there was some plays where, what was it? Was it like a 4th and 1?
It was a 4th and 1. They sprint up to the line.
They sprint up to the line and didn't do the toss.
Correct. They toss left, and Chicago just destroys it.
I mean, Roquan, he was a dog. Oh, bro. Game. Man. Dog. Like, he was on AK. Even though AK had a great game, he was on AK ass. You know what I'm saying? And like the defense, they're just flying around too. They're too fast for those type of plays. Unless you get a head on them, it's just not gonna happen, man.
And we talked. I mean, I brought it up on the preview pod. I said, to me, like, this is a game. If you want to get Taysom involved, like, it's a game where you just run with Taysom. Like, it's a gritty, hard, and we saw some of that in the first half, and then he makes the touchdown catch to put them up 23-13, and then Saints go on defense, and then for whatever reason, the Chicago's in kind of hurry up mode. They need to basically, score a touchdown and get a field goal to tie the game up. And Dennis Allen chooses to go zone. Like, that was, I know you didn't see it because you're on the road.
Were they playing more like prevent touchdown?
It was like a soft zone. And it's like, what? Like, and Nick Foles, to his credit,
picked that shit apart.
He picked it apart. Like, he's an NFL quarterback. Like, this is not a rookie. Like, he picked it apart. The Saints weren't getting any pressure, defensively, and he drove them down the field, and they scored a touchdown. And then the ensuing play on offense, like, the offense didn't get really anything going, and then Sean Payton calls like this horizontal play call, like swing pass to AK that Roquan just destroys. And then they punt the ball back, and then the game they won, and I'm not trying to take away from them winning, but like, it felt like they made it harder than it needed to be, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I definitely see that. And I was listening to Sean Payton's post presser. He basically talked about how they expected the win to be really bad. He said it was a little better than they expected to be, but they also approach these games like in Chicago with the win, where if they're going against the win, they have like a certain set of play calls, and if they're going with the win, they have another set of play calls. So I think that could have had something to do with some of the play calls if they were going against the win. I didn't sit there and track if they were going against it or not, but it's something to look at, and it's some sort of the inside baseball shit that Sean Payton's always thinking about. But we just want him to go out, man, just run the plays, man, execute them. But this might be a little more into it because he has to think about how the ball, like for him, like Sean Payton, major key against the Bears. It really has always been against the Bears is not to turn the ball
All
over
over.
because
Yes.
like regardless of who's head coaching the Bears, it seems like they always have like a ball hawking, take the ball away type of defense. And Sean Payton pretty much knows from past experience, like that's a major key to losing these games. We lost some heartbreakers like early in the Sean Payton era because of those little turnovers. So I think that was pretty much the onus. Like, don't turn the ball over, move the ball. If we got to take field goals, get the field goals. Let's not force it. They weren't scared of the offense, so they went for it on fourth down quite a bit. When it was fourth and manageable or whatever, and they had some like good like fourth down conversion. So I felt like it was one of those games where they just want to get out there with a win, man. Like screw the booty points. This is a 5-2 team we're facing with a good defense. Let's just get a win by any means possible. So I mean, you just got to take that and roll with it.
You do. And they did. Another game, another like Zach Bond, Adam Troutman. Like, are we just are we just done with this rookie class? Like, Ruiz have at least Ruiz has shown flashes here and there. Like he's still kind of learning on the job, but like what like I saw Zach Bond made like a really good tackle on special teams, like on kickoff coverage.
Yeah, it's like, man, like seriously, like we can't get nothing out of Adam Troutman, really. Like that's disappointing. It's just disappointing.
Nothing at a third round pick at tight end when you are down to literally the bottom of the barrel in terms of offensive weapons. Like, huh? What? I don't get it. I don't. And another game where Saints go up tempo, 2-minute drill, and surprise, ends in a touchdown. Although that first pass by Drew behind Cook was terrible, but luckily
it was terrible.
But luckily they were able to make
it. Yeah, and it just went right back to him.
Yeah,
it was like Drew Brees saying, like, "Yep, that's my bad. Like, let's just go right back to it. It worked." You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just do it right this time.
It befuddles me, like especially against. And I would think, and I know how Sean Payton is. He wants to limit like the mistakes and all of that. But something that really worked for the Rams when they played the Bears was their up tempo. They went up tempo a lot, and it had the Bears defense confused. And the Saints offense just plays better when it goes up tempo. I'm not saying become Chip Kelly or just speed it up from time to time, but let's talk about the play of the secondary. Because honestly, like it was, and something that I saw throughout the defense in general was confidence and swagger.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge. That's huge. And a lot of people will say like, oh, whatever. But like the playing with confidence is such a huge thing. And we saw some of that today with them getting interceptions and sacks and things like that. Like it was refreshing to see that.
Yeah, they really needed that, man. And I think excuse me, I think, the little fight with Mims or Wims or whatever. I think it just kind of woke them up a little bit. It was just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, let's defend. We the defense, which is really what I want. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember you tweeted earlier about that Baltimore player being mad at the other Baltimore player because he helped one of their opponents. And it's funny, but it's like I like that shit.
Yeah,
like,
of
that's
course.
how I want my defense. I want my defense to be like, fuck the offense, fuck them, fuck the quarterback.
Yes, that's a great point.
So I just want that edge to the defense. That's Greg Williams, for all his faults, he was infamous for kind of instituting that edge into his defenses, and I think the Saints have had that off and on through the years, but I guess it's just one of those things that's just kind of hard to sustain over time. But the great defenses are like that. Like the Baltimore Ravens, no matter who the defense coordinator or who, whatever, it's like their defense is always just kind of nasty and with a nasty attitude. Like It's always like that. Like it's like an institutional thing. Same for Pittsburgh, and all those guys. So I mean, that's just not how the Saints are built. That's not how the organization is right now. But it was good to see the Saints defense, even though they weren't great, they were terrible on third down. But it was just good to see them kind of rise to the occasion here and there, and just show the ability is there, man. Like y'all just got to string that shit together.
That's it, man.
Consistently, man. Like
that's
all y'all got to do. Like so much of it is just mental. Like there was a play like Demario Davis had Montgomery like right in the hole, like just.
Oh yes,
and he just missed the tackle. Like I'm not saying, he's not saying Demario had a bad game. It was just like that one play, and then breaks off like his longest run of the season.
Of course, like what team will it come against? The Saints. Like he breaks like a 38-yard run, and it.
And look and listen, just go back to the point. This whole Saints haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher. Montgomery had 89 yards, so he didn't have 100 yards. I don't give a shit. He had the best game he's had as a Chicago Bear, and he was running it down our throat.
And
I don't give a shit about the 100 yards.
And it was against the Saints. Big injury with Sheldon Rankins that happened in the game. It sounds like he has a ACL sprain or MCL sprain. Probably going to miss a couple of weeks. I'm just saying this. I'm not trying to sound callous when I say this, but that injury probably saves him from getting traded. Like I'm not saying he was going to get traded, or I don't have any inclination that there was like a deal in the works or anything like that. But we heard it prior to the season, and potentially he was going to get traded so they could get cap relief to get Clowney. And the Saints don't really have a lot of assets in general to trade, but he was one of them. So it wouldn't have shocked me at all to see him get traded the next 2 days. But with that injury, that obviously takes out all that off the table.
Yeah, that's a tough loss, but they have some decent guys in the rotation, Roach, Tuttle, and they have some guys there, so I think they'll be okay. But it was nice. Rakers were starting to come on a little bit the past couple of weeks, so the team is desperate, man. Like they need every bit of pass rush they can get.
Every bit of it, and it's funny because, like you said, a macrocosm of their season is that at times the Bears got outstanding pass protection from a very mediocre offensive line that led them to take some deeper shots down the field.
Yeah.
And then at other times, like it's like, okay, like this is the defensive line like we want to see. Cam Jordan getting, making plays, Two First making plays, Trigger Trey making plays. Like we saw it in glimpses, and obviously it's not about, like, we understand that obviously no defense is going to just be sacking a quarterback, every snap or anything like that. But but at times, like when Foles had the ball and he was like just had time, I'm like, yo, like this is the Bears offensive line we talking about? Like, we're not even getting
Right.
close.
Right. Like at least be putting pressure on him and forcing that clock in his head to speed up. But they did a pretty good job most of all. And there were a lot of times they forced Foles to make some errant passes, like on that interception, and the Foles threw 2 interceptions or one. Or was one called back? I can't remember. But I know there was the one to Lattimore that he threw. And I could have sworn there was another interception. I don't know. Oh no, it was a drop.
It was a drop.
Yeah. Which thankfully he did drop because
field
it was
position.
4th down. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I guess it's just one of those games you just kind of just you check off. It's a win. You got some positives out of it. It was a gritty win. They were able to overcome injuries and being down early and coming back, playing in overtime, pretty much a full overtime, almost to the point where it was going to be a tie. So, I mean, I would have been pissed if it was a tie. So, just for them to come out, I was nervous too because I know Lutz had missed one early.
And that was also a terrible, terrible hole by Morstead. Like I mean, it was a 27-yard field goal. Like, he should have hit that, but still, like, Morstead did not help him out at all.
Yeah, I saw that. So, but then they pretty much kind of rushed to just go ahead and kick it instead of trying for the touchdown in overtime. I know some people are like, oh, why not go for the points? But let's clutch, man. Like, he gonna miss 1 or 2 here and there, but we know what he is at this point. So just to come out there with a win, Soldier Field, they really needed that win. Like, if you looked at their interviews this past week, it was like, even though they were 5-2, they sounded like a team that, like, this is a must-win game for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it really was, especially, like, I'm sure if they saw that Green Bay loss today,
yeah, man,
like, we could take over the division right now.
Yep.
So it didn't surprise me that they came out with a nice hot script, to get points quick and stuff like that. So, you just got, like, the Saints going to get everybody hardest hit, man. And, like, that's just the way it is. And, so just coming out with wins, you just hope as the Saints stack wins that they find ways to improve where they've been weak at. And I guess you could say they kind of did today, but, then it's against the Bears offense, which wasn't good.
Yeah, it's just
like, I don't know how to really take it. I'm still not super confident.
Optimistically looking, the way you can see it, look at it is like the Saints have not even gotten close to playing their best football at all. And they're 5-2. And they've had awful injuries, offensively. And yet they're still fucking 5-2. Like, that's huge. Like, I know I made the analogy that it's hard to, take them seriously because of because of their defense, and they may be a team that goes to the playoffs but may not go far or whatever. But it's not, I don't think it's insane to think that just in general, just if you lay it out, hopefully maybe Michael Thomas is back next week. Hopefully Emmanuel Sanders is back next week. And you have Callaway back next week. Your whole entire offense changes. Like that, it changes completely. And it even changes from week 1, because back then you didn't know what you had in Callaway. And
right. Emmanuel Sanders was still trying to figure out the offense.
And he didn't know where to line up at. like literally, like one of the stories was like, Mike Thomas was getting mad at Emmanuel Sanders for not lining up right. It's like, he just got here, bro.
What you doing, bro? So man, like just getting all them back, hoping Mike comes back. It's like when I mean, geez. But when it all happens and they all come back, that's gonna be a huge boost for the offense, just from like a consistency and down for down. Because I mean, Drew Brees, like, man, like I know Drew Brees just goes home today just like, woof, like you just took a SAT, you know what I'm saying? Like, because you trying to trust these young guys, you trying to make 10-point accuracy plays, you reading the defense. Like that's hard on a quarterback, man. So, I'm just looking forward to when it's all just smooth, and hopefully the defense. Like it's really all about the defense for me. Like,
It
can
is.
they just put it together, man? Like, let your dogs be dogs. We can't have like
Can we?
Lattimore, Jenkins, like those guys have to play well, man. Like those are the keys.
Yeah, because when they don't, like the defense doesn't have a shot. Like they don't have a chance. And I know that we're gonna get more of it, but can we stop with this whole Chauncey Garner at slot? Like, I know it's not gonna change. I get it, but like that's not his.
I guess it's their best option. I guess, but like, I mean, I would think P-Rob. I don't know.
I just always go back to what we saw from him as a rookie when he slid over to strong safety when Von Bell got hurt, and like he was a dog. He played downhill. He was everywhere. He was everywhere. And I mean, he's still like he still makes good plays, but I feel like he's not put in a position to succeed because like today was Anthony Miller. Yeah. Last week, when they played the Panthers, it was who was it? Robbie Anderson. Like those are like starting wide receivers. That is not what like, I don't know, man. I just feel like he's not put in a good position to succeed or play better, I guess. So let's see. I think we kind of hit on everything. Anything else from the game that caught your eye or grabbed your attention?
No, man. Other than the refs, man, like that is like man, that just takes the fun out the game, bro. It's like I still feel the same way from the no call from a few years ago, bro. It's like
it triggered me, bro. It triggered me.
It just like it's like I can't even enjoy the game because of that shit. Because it's like, at least we have the rules. You have at least an attempt of equality on the rules of the game. But it's like with us, we don't even have that. It's like any big play that happens with the Saints, your cheeks be tight because it's like you're looking for a yellow flag.
And speaking of, I know people are going to say like Kyle Fuller, like the play that he made on Traquan wasn't a flag.
Yeah.
If that was, even if that's the case, if you look by the letter of the law, if that position was switched and flipped, the Saints DB would have been taken out like Cuba Gooding Jr. in handcuffs. Just
easily.
Just keep it fucking consistent. Like that's it, man. And we don't get that. Like it's not even close to being consistent.
And don't be receiver for like I never seen that shit. Like, what are you talking about? That
like
shit
they got together and talked about it afterwards, and then decided it was for a partial stop. Like what
happened to the whistle? I thought we went by the whistle. If it wasn't blown dead.
Wasn't blown dead. Referee was standing right there, threw the little beanbag, threw it on the ground.
like that shit right there, bro.
It's infuriating. It's infuriating. And if the Saints had lost the game,
man,
it's just keep it consistent. That's it.
And sure, they had Sean Payton about it, but he bounced out of that so quick. He was just like, oh well, look, we got to look at the tape. Because he know he got a big fat mind coming in. Which is just ain't that some like, bro? That's some like Stalin Russian type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the refs can screw you, and the head coach can't even criticize him. It's like that's some shit, man. Like that shit is just so fucked up to me, bro.
Ain't it crazy? It's insane. It's nuts.
And then when you do complain about it, you're like, whiny fan, whining about the refs. The refs through everybody. It's like, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, like when, if no team, no fan has experienced referees screwing them to a level that we have, right? No one.
No.
So you man, I'm gonna get pissed just thinking about it. So don't come at us of like, oh well, players got to make plays. Well, they had another chance to stop them. Shut up! Like, stop! Yeah. Like, no, we stopped. He fumbled the football. Game's over. Go home.
Go home.
Nope. Let's look. Let's peek. Let's peek ahead. Tampa Bay. They play Tampa Bay in Tampa next Sunday night. Another primetime game. Tampa plays tomorrow against the Giants, which obviously, one would expect them to win. The good thing that overall, besides the Sheldon injury, is that relatively it seems like the Saints came out pretty healthy in this game. And they next week, bro, that's a game.
And AB should be ready for that game, right?
If the NFL does not impose any more time in terms of his suspension, yes, he should.
Bro, that game is going to be. Whew. But I will say, I mean, look, Tampa Bay, as good as they've been, they've had their up and downs too. It's not like they've been perfect. But I mean, I'm just thinking about Tom Brady. Tom Brady, throw week one out your head. Like,
yep, that's not the same Tom Brady. Not the same Tom Brady.
Not the same Tom Brady. They were trying to get to know the offense, trying to get to know each other. He knows the offense now, and he's looking at the Saints' weaknesses on defense. Man, what Tom Brady does. Like, that's what he does. He finds weaknesses in defenses and destroys them repeatedly until you fix it. Like, he would destroy if Marshawn Lattimore keeps biting on something, he's going to keep going there over and over and over and over until you stop it. So, it's going to be something, man. I hope, I'm hoping that our DBs and the whole secondary, whole defense just gets bucked up, ready to go against a Tampa Bay team that's trying to take over the division. Going against, Tom Brady. I just hope they have, I don't know if it's a back game and all that. I don't know if Sean Payton still does all that, but like, man, it's a game. You're like, it's a big one, bro.
Whew, a game. And like you said all that, just talking about like Tampa Bay's offense.
Defense.
Not even talking about that defense, nigga.
That defense ain't no joke. And I mean, what has plagued Drew Brees over his entire tenure is like just fast, athletic linebackers that could, and that's what they got. Like, that's what they got. They got, Devin White and my man. How can I forget his name? Because he's one of my favorite. Levante David, who I think, I think if he played for like the Seahawks, he would be talked about just like Bobby Wagner.
Yes.
I mean, he would be one of those players that they talk about Hall of Fame for Bobby Wagner. I think they would do that for Levante David. Like, that's just how good he is to me. I always just wish they trade him, but like, man, extend him as soon as this contract gets close to being up there. Boop, extension. So they know.
Devin White is one of the few players because I remember, in week one that I watched him against AK and I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Like, he is bruh.
Man.
Like,
so, that's gonna be tough, bro. I guess we'll get to that.
We'll get to the preview show a little.
Yeah.
But it's if the Saints want to show like who they are, prime time, no better place to do it, bro. No better place to do it. Trying to think of anything else. Hope everyone's doing well. Tuesday election. Speaking of winning, it's a big one, bro.
Man,
you.
I might crack open the Bible tomorrow, bro. Like, I'm hoping. I hope this ain't the end.
You know shit is bad when Walmart says they're not selling any guns and ammo.
Bro, I'm hearing like Washington D.C. and all that shit like already
boarded
up everything. It's like, damn, like man, it's
that's where we are.
So the country, man.
If you haven't voted, please go vote. But if you're gonna vote unless you're voting for Trump, you can just stay at home.
Just stay home.
Just
hey, he's gonna win anyway. Just stay home, man.
Come on, Ryan. I don't need that type of negativity in my life, bro.
Honestly, bro, as someone who like really likes just digging into politics, and I mean, I didn't have a prediction right last time when Trump won. I was shocked like everybody else, even though I kind of had like an inkling feeling like something was up. But this time, I really don't know, bro. Like, I can't handicap that shit at all.
No clue.
I know Biden is up in the polls in a lot of key states. Texas is up for play, which is like...
That's crazy to me, bro. And I'm from Texas.
Bro, that changes the complete political landscape of America if Texas went blue. But, I mean, at the very least, it could be purple. But, yeah, I mean, I have no prediction whatsoever. Only thing I can predict is we won't know who wins Tuesday night. We won't know. And that's just going to make it even more crazy.
Tension. Oh, bro. Anyway, Tuesday, if you haven't voted, I've already voted. My ballots already got counted. I voted 2-3 weeks ago, dropped that shit off at the ballot box. But at this point, you're out of time. So if you haven't voted already, vote on Tuesday. Unless you're voting for Trump, you can stay at home and probably you can subscribe to the podcast, but we'd be fine if you didn't listen to us anymore either.
No, listen. Listen, please.
Oh, we want the listens. I'm trying to think anything else. I mean, I think that's it. Obviously, with Hurricane Zeta, in terms of the design getting to us for the mask, that's a little behind. But as soon as we have the disaster for the mask, we'll post them up on Twitter. We'll do a poll, make sure everyone votes and see what the masks are going to be, and then we're going to start getting them out. So we're excited. We keep this thing going. Are we halfway through the season? Like, yeah, like this is what week 9 is. That's crazy, man.
Hey.
And we have a team.
Else in the NFL?
What was that?
Anything else in the NFL stand out to you today? I didn't get a chance to watch every game, but
Joe Burrow is the truth.
They beat the Titans, right?
Beat the Titans, man, and he looked T. Higgins, my guy. They just cooking. They look good. Joe Burrow looks like the way he play. Like it's just like watching him at LSU. But I feel like as the weeks have gone on, and Greg Rosenthal tweeted this, like he's getting better, and you just see it. So
and that's what Zach Taylor is his offensive guy. So that just tells you.
Yeah, the offense looks good. Keep in mind, like they're doing this, without Joe Mixon. Like Joe Mixon's missed the last 2 games. They probably should. I mean, with a better defense, they probably should have beat Cleveland, who lost today against the Raiders.
Yeah.
What else happened today? The Dolphins put it on the Rams.
I saw that.
Bruh,
they didn't really need offense either. It was just like
Emmanuel Ogbah hit Jared Goff so hard.
I saw that one. I was like, I love those plays.
I do too, and I always loved me some Ogbah. I've been a huge fan of his since he was at Oklahoma State. What else? Anything else? Ravens Steelers played gritty ass fucking game. Steelers come away with the win. That like I was watching that game, and I've played football like on a very small level, and I was just thinking like I could not imagine being in a game like that. Like, I couldn't imagine what my body would feel like the next day, because they play a game that is just physical, bro. Just
like, I mean, I saw Lamar. He took a hit on the goal line.
Yes,
I mean, he got smacked, and he just popped right up. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that.
I'll be at the hospital.
Willie Snead was, cutting up the Steelers defense. He came up short at the end. What else? There's some other stuff.
Green Bay lost.
Yeah, Dalvin Cook put his team on his back. And if people want to, and I know the Packers beat the Saints, but like it's funny because they have, obviously Aaron Rodgers is playing at a higher level than Drew Brees and what have you. But if you just look at them, if you stack up the teams, the Saints' nemesis right now is their secondary. Their secondary gives up big plays too often, and they play inconsistent. Green Bay is like and this is what their problem was last year, and that's what got them beat in the NFC Championship game against the Niners. Their run defense, like their run defense is not good and
good at all.
And it's hard, like it's hard to be an elite team and go deep in the playoffs when you have like a major weakness like the Saints have right now, and inconsistent secondary play, and the Packers have right now, and having a bad run defense, because that you get at some point that's going to get exposed.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be interesting to see how all that plays out. But here we are, Saints 5-2, baby. Like, enjoy that shit, man.
Enjoy it. Who dat? We for sure have 2 episodes coming this upcoming week. One with a special guest that we already have booked, and then we have the preview show. So we're gonna keep it going, man. Hopefully the world's not on fire. Keep going the best we can. And the Saints are 5-2. With all this craziness, everything that's happened, the Saints are 5-2, and they got a big date with Tampa Bay upcoming, and it'll be fun to watch. But I think we hit on it all. We covered all we could. So with that, we're gonna get out of here. With that, we're out.
Peace.
O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.